Faithful You Knitting Podcast. My name's Hazel. This is a knitting, spinning, weaving and hand dyeing podcast from Wales in the United Kingdom. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all having a good summer and that you've enjoyed some lovely sunshine. We haven't, we've had lovely sunshine for the first part and then it's rained. It hasn't stopped raining for the whole of July, so we've had one or two nice breaks in the weather, but other than that it's just been raining. So I've been really busy around the garden, so sorry I've not been around very much, but the garden's starting to quieten down a bit now. The polytunnel is up and finished, and I've started working on some craft projects again. So I thought I'd come along, let you know what I've been up to, let you know what I'm working on, let you know what my future plans are, and get back into podcasting on this channel, because I've been working so hard on my other channel, my Wildwood Cottage Diary channel. But this one's just got neglected, so I'm really sorry to you, all you subscribers that do subscribe to my channel. You have been on my mind, I have been thinking about you, and yeah, I've just been so distracted with the garden and getting the garden built up that I just haven't had any brain space to do any crafting. So I didn't think it was worth coming along and doing a podcast without me having anything to share, because you don't want to just hear me ramble on at you. So I've decided today I'm going to come on, I'm going to share what I've been working on, all my failures that I've been working on, because I've got a lot of them. I've got some crochet to show you, some knitting to show you, some spinning, and some spinning from the drum carding series that I did for you. I hope you've been enjoying it. I hope you've been following along with all the different techniques on there. We've done the 3 different techniques in that now, so a bit later on in the episode, in the podcast, I'll be talking about that with you and what the next thing is that we're going to be doing in that. So that's really exciting. But other than that, we're going to start with the knitting. So yeah, so I have been working on a few different projects. I brought some socks along to show you because I know one of my viewers is particularly fond of me knitting socks. So yeah, I lost the yarn, I couldn't find the yarn, and then I didn't find my sock yarn again, and then the other day I was having a rummage for something else and the yarn popped up, so I thought, oh, I'll start knitting the socks again. So these are them. It's some Shetland yarn for the cuff and for the toe, and for the main part here it's some vintage Lister, or Lister, is it? I think it's Lister yarn. And it was some that I bought in a charity shop, and I sold 10 balls of it, and I managed to keep 2 balls myself. So I've done one sock and I've started the other one. I've done the cuff the same. I think I've actually done it a little bit shorter. Yeah, I have. I've skipped a couple of rows on the cuff, but never mind. I'm not going to undo it just for 2 rows. But I'm making my way down the foot. And what I've found on this one, the one that I'm down to the toe, is that it's about 1 inch too short. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the toe, because I haven't sewn it up yet. It's still open. So I'm going to take the toe off, and I'm going to knit down another 1 inch on that one, and then make this one the same length. I should have enough yarn. Let me just pick it up off the dirty floor. My shed's leaking like a sieve, you know. But I've got this amount of yarn left, so I'm nearly at the same point on both socks. So just a sec, get myself in a right knot. I'm just about at the same length. I've got that much yarn left, so I may be paying a bit of chicken, but I'm pretty much down to the same point on both socks. Oh, lift it up. I've got about 1 centimetre to go. And then I'll do an extra inch. So I've got an extra 2 inches to do on that one and an extra inch on that one. And then I'll do the toe, and then I'll do the cuff, and then I'll do the heel. So I'm going to do the heel the same colour as this, and the toe the same colour as that as well. I've got plenty of that. So I should have enough for another 3 inches to work in that yarn. So that's my sock. I'm just making the pattern up out my head. I've already done 3 pairs of socks in the same thing, and I feel like I'm ready to move on now. Now I know the technique of a sock and what all the different bits are, like the heel flap and gusset, and knitting the heel when you do the kiss lips heel, which is what I'm doing, when you knit the waist yarn, undo the waist yarn and then put the heel in. I'm familiar with the shaping of the toe. I'm familiar with grafting the toe. So what I'm thinking of doing is finding myself a pattern in one of my sock books. I've got the 52 weeks of socks, and I was thinking of having a go working my way through those patterns, and then I'll have 52 pairs of socks by the end of it. So yeah, I'm going to get these finished, and then I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start working my way through the 52 weeks of socks and see how long that takes me and where I end up, because I've got loads of yarn to use up. I'm just doing knitting from stash at the moment. I have bought 4 balls of yarn this year, and I'm going to show you that in my acquisitions section in a minute. But that is all I've bought for the last 2 years. That's all I've bought. Well, more than 2, well, yeah, 2 years ago in August. So yeah, so I haven't bought any yarn. I've just been knitting from stash because I'm trying to get my stash down, because I've got so much yarn. I'm never going to be able to knit with it all. But the problem I'm finding is having enough yarn to knit a pattern. So I'm trying to make it up as I go along, which is what I tried to do with these. And I think I'm just about successful with these. But when it comes to jumpers, nah, missing the mark. You'll have to excuse me. I've had a virus for the last 3 or 4 days, and my throat felt like sandpaper. But it's feeling like it's getting a lot better. But you just have to excuse me sounding nasally. Seems to be this time of year. But yeah, anyway, that's the socks. Moving on from that, I was knitting the gingerbread sweater, and I lost the yarn. I lost it for about 3 or 4 months. I've managed to find it again. Then I lost it again. Couldn't think of where I put it. Then I found it again in my shed. So it's in my workroom in the garage. So I'm going to skein that off and carry on knitting with that. Just a sec. Right, sorry about that. There was a wasp and the chicken sneezed, and I thought something was happening with the chickens. Right, I'm back again now. So yeah, I lost my yarn for my gingerbread sweater. I found it again, then I lost it again, and now I found it again. So I just need to skein that off, and then I'll carry on with my gingerbread sweater. I've nearly finished the raglan now, and then I'm just up to separating for the sleeves and knitting in the round for the body. So that'll be that. Another work in progress that I've been doing is my Gudrun Johnston Hansel hap, the half hap. I would pick it to be in the middle of a row to show you, but it was a spare of the moment podcast. Can't remember what row I'm up to. So this is the colour that I'm doing, and I'm down to the border on the bottom. There's the border on the bottom. Can you see that? So the colours that I've chosen are the pink, obviously, and then we've got a Let Lopey cream, a Let Lopey brown, and a stash yarn of lilac. So I'll just show you those. There's the brown that I'm using, that's Let Lopey, and then there's the cream that I'm using. And then we've got the lilac, which is this one, which is lovely. And then I've got this pink as well. And then I've got some hand spun grey. Where's the grey? I've got this scrap grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on with the colours on the border, and then because I haven't got enough of this one, I'm going to use this as the bottom of the border, and for the colour work, to do the colours in the grey in here, and then use whatever's left of that grey to knit the border. So that's my thinking with that. I'm sorry I can't show you a better view of my knitting. Maybe if I squash it all together on one needle, you'll be able to see properly. Can you see? It's got a nice ripple design on it. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. It's going to be a lovely shawl for the autumn, for sitting in the garden and things like that. So I'm really pleased with these colours. I think the colours are working really, really well together. It took me a while to get the pattern, but I've nearly done one band, and then you do the same again, and then you move on to the bottom border. So I'm probably nearly halfway through. So that's that for my half hap shawl. I'll put a picture in for you so you can see it. And then I've got plenty of things on the go. I've just not got anything finished. I've been working on another pair of socks in this yarn that I bought for my birthday when we were on holiday for the weekend, because I turned 50 in July as well, so it's been a busy month. But it's this yarn here, and it's 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. Now I bought two different colours. I bought a mustard colour because I'm quite enjoying knitting with mustard, and I've got this one, and it's knit on a 2.75 needle. Let me just have a look. What does the ball say? 2.5 to a 3. I'm using a 2.5, I think. And I've only done the cuff, and I'm just doing my own pattern again. I've done 1 by 1 rib this time, so there's not much to show you in that. And I've done 10 stitches less than on the other sock, because the other sock has turned out far too big. I've done 10 stitches less on the cuff, and hopefully that will fit my foot. So I've got a bit of work to do on that. But again, I lost the yarn, couldn't find it anywhere. And I found it the other day and thought, oh, I can carry on with them now. I keep losing things, you know, and I just can't find them anywhere. And then all of a sudden they'll just turn up, poof, out of nowhere. But yeah, so that's that. I think it's because I've had such a lot going on, such a lot on my mind. I just can't remember everything. I can't remember anything, never mind everything. Remembering something could be good, wouldn't it? So that's that. Sorry if I'm going rather quickly, but I want to save my voice because I can feel my voice going while I'm talking to you. So, right. So, another knitting project I started. Well, I've had a few failures lately. I failed at doing a tank top in crochet squares. That was a total failure. I failed at knitting a vest top for the summer. It turned out far too small. And I'm now failing at knitting a tank top with some hand spun yarn. And I've run out of wool. So yeah, the wool's really nice, but that's it, wool gone. So this is what I've got so far. I can't really repeat the hand spun yarn. I can hear everyone shouting, well, why don't you just spin some more wool? Well, this has been in my stash now for 8 years, 9 years, maybe longer. Do you know, I think it was when we first moved in out of the house. So it must be about 8 or 9 years now. And there's no way I'll have the same colours again. So, yeah. So it's a one-off yarn. But I'm loving the colours. I think the colours are beautiful. It's also got a different colour yarn on the bottom that I've also going to run out of. And I've only got this one ball, and there's no way that's going to be enough. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. It's a complete and utter disaster. I'm thinking of undoing it, but it does fit. So I don't really want to undo it if it's going to fit. So I'm thinking of just starting the neck here, going up in the straps in the green, and then doing a longer border at the bottom. So it comes down here. So at least you just get a little bit of the hand spun. But that's all that's left. So I really don't think I've got the same colours. And I don't think I get the same texture either, because it's got lots of glitter in it. It's got lots of sparkle and stuff in it. So I just really don't think I'm going to get the same colours again. Or the same effect. It's just one-off. Fractal yarn is just a one-off. And you're not going to be able to spin it again. So that's why I enjoy doing fractal yarns. So yeah, disaster, maybe. We'll see. I'll carry on with it, see how I get on. Now I've talked to you lot, I may just carry it on and see how we get on. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else in that basket. My other disaster was a crochet project I talked to you about on my last podcast, and it was working with these squares here. Now I did crochet them and make them into a tank top, but the tank top was about 10 sizes too big, so I've undone it. I have got more of these squares, so what I'm thinking of doing is turning it into a cardigan, possibly a cardigan with no sleeves. So that would be the back, and then one of each of these on the front, like that. Let me see. So it sits on the front like that, and have it as a crop top. And then I could undo one of these and have one at the front of the cardigan and one on the back, and then just knit a new band, crochet a new band on it. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. It does need blocking because it's all puckered, so I'm going to wash it first and then I'm going to carry on with this and see how we get on. The whole thing was nearly finished. I'd done all the band here and I was just starting to do this part here, tried it on, and it was about 10 sizes too big, so no idea what I was thinking. But yeah, all is not lost with that one. That is my plan. I'm not sure whether to do it 3 deep or just 2. I think 2 would be plenty for a crop top. And then I'll use the other 2 for a sleeve. I think if I did the whole thing in this, I think it would just be too much and too chintzy. So, don't know what you think. Whether you think I should do the whole cardigan in it, or whether you think I should just do cropped sleeves, even just up to there would be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's my thinking with that. Not sure I could live with it like that, to be honest with you. I think it would be too much. I don't know now, you know. I may even do a long sleeve and see how I like it, and then we'll see, eh? See when we get there. So yeah, that's my plan for that. All is not lost. I didn't undo it all before I decided what I was doing, so I have got some more of these squares, because it was going to be a blanket, but then I liked it that much. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make a cardigan. Well, I was going to make a tank top for the summer, but the summer's decided to disappear, so I may as well do something for the winter instead. So I'm going to carry on with that. So I'll have that for the next podcast for you. And then that will be finished. I've got loads of random squares in my stash that I've crocheted, because I was going to do, as I say, a crochet blanket. But I lost the plot with that as well. And now I've decided to make them into garments and maybe a bag. So yeah, that's my plan with that. Plenty of plans, not enough action. Let's get a drink of coffee. Right, let's bring the camera back, shall we? Right, now we're on to a finished object that is another disaster. This is some of my hand spun yarn, again. Now this was a one-off. I bought this yarn, this as a roving from Hilltop Katie, Hilltop Cloud. And it was 100 grams and that was it, there wasn't any more. Now I thought, oh, it'll look lovely as a summer top. It does look lovely. It's got, this is it. You see that? It's got Shetland wool on the top that was 50p balls from Wonderwool. I've done some straps. And then I've done the bottom. Now the main part, this colour, has got silk in it. And it feels so soft and so lovely and so nice on. But I just don't like it, because I put weight on and it just stretches out that much. It just looks like a boob tube. It really does. It just looks like a boob tube. So I'm at a loss as to what to do really. I don't want to undo it because I really, really like it. I do really like it. I've tried stretching it. It won't stretch any more than what it stretched because it's silk. And silk doesn't stretch the same way, I find, as ordinary wool. Now I could try and lose some weight to get into it, but I think it might take me a while to get into a size 0. So I have to be realistic. But yeah, it does look like a boob tube. If I stand up, I'll show you. It looks just like a boob tube when it's fully stretched right round me. Yeah, another disaster. Just goes to show real knitting is disastrous sometimes. Oh, you've gone all square. Better, isn't it? I've got a mirror behind you today so I can see, setting the camera up. Yeah, so I don't know what to do about that. I'm at a bit of a loss. So again, do let me know in the comments section below what you think, and what you think kindly, what you think I should do. I did wonder whether to cut it down the middle and put a band on it and make it into a button up at the front. And maybe put some sleeves on and make it into a cropped cardigan. I think that might be quite nice. But other than that, no idea. Absolutely no idea. I quite like the idea now, looking at it, of cutting it and maybe popping some sleeves on. Cut it down the middle, put some sleeves on. So I'll have to measure it and measure me and see how much out I am. Otherwise, I think it's for the frog pile. So we'll have to see. But I do really like the colours, and I don't really want to just put it into a cowl because I think that's a waste. I think it needs to be in a garment. My other thought was I have lots and lots of merino roving, and I've got silk, and I thought that maybe I could pop it through the drum carder, diz it off with the diz like what you saw in the videos. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a picture in a thing in the I button for you so you can go back and watch it. And then maybe try and dye the wool that comes off the drum carder in these colours and spin it up and see if I can get something that matches. It'll be a bit of a tall order, but I do have a kingfisher blue. I do have a pumpkin colour. I'm sure I could make a green. So we shall see. We shall see. See what we can come up with. If I can dye something in the dye pot, then maybe it could have a reprieve and become something else. So that's the end of the disasters and the knitting and the crochet. I haven't got any more disasters for you, I promise, that's it. But yeah, as you can see, I've had a very frustrating time making lately. So it'll be good to get into some garments again, because I haven't knit any garments since I did my Into the Wild sweater, because I just don't, to be honest with you, I don't really want to do garments in the summer. It's far too hot for handling the wool. I find that I'm more a seasonal knitter of knitting spring, winter and autumn. So the autumn is fast approaching. The leaves are starting to change colour already in July. It's gone quite cold here. I'm still in jumpers. And yeah, it's gone quite cold, and it's still sort of, what is it today, the 28th of July. So yeah, it's a bit concerning thinking what's going to happen in August. Hopefully someone will remember to come back for August and we'll have a bit more warmer weather, and then I can get out on the yard now the garden's done and get some fleece out and get washing some fleece and show you some of the things that I'm going to be doing with that. I've brought along the spinning from those videos. If you're not interested in spinning, it's fine, you don't have to hang around. But we did a course of drum carding, and we did 4 episodes. We did equipment needed for carding wool. We did doing rollags, doing bats and dizzing it off with a diz. So we've done all that. Now we're up to how we're going to spin it and what we're going to make with it. So I'll just move that out of the way. I brought them all with me to have a look at. So these are our rollags. And these were done between 2 knitting needles and then pulled off the carder. You could use a blending board for doing it, and you could also use hand carders as well. But you'll need to go back and watch that video if you want to see the technique that I did. And I'll put that in the I button for you now. So you can have a look at the end of the video. I'll put them all in at the end of the video and then you can have a look. So this is going to be our main colour. Our plying, what I call my plying colour. And that's this colour. It's a gorgeous electric blue colour. I may be able to use some of this in that wool that I want to do. So that's the blue. And then these are our smaller colours, which we are going to do with it. To make it colourful, basically. We've got orange, which looks like carrots, which is these. And then we've got pink, which is this pink here. I love this kind of shocking pink. Has got sparkle in it because I love sparkle. Everything has to have sparkle in it when I do yarn. Always has to have sparkle in it. Then we've got this purple, this one here. We've got brown, this one. And we've got a little bit of this gold. I didn't have much of this left, so this is all there is of that. So that's the rollags. So that was done in one video, if you want to go back and have a look. And then this was our, you're right. This is our main colour for our bat yarn, which is this one. Now for this one, I'm going to leave this as is and just spin it as it is, because that's going to be the main ply colour. Now these ones I'm going to put back through the drum carder and I'm going to make it into one big bat. They're all our colours. So it's going to be made into one big bat, similar to this. And then I'm going to pull chunks off it. I'm going to spin it as it is with all the colours mixed together. And I think that'll be really funky and really colourful. So that's what we're going to do with that one. Now the last one is this one. I'll leave it in the basket and then I can show you properly. Got all these different colours. This one here. Now this is our main colour in this one, this green. And then we've got all these different colours. Now I was going to do a fractal yarn, which is where you separate it all up and divide it up. So say with this pink, you cut it in half. And you cut it in half again. And then I will cut it in half again. And then take those bits off. Right. So for this one we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 now, 8 pieces. So what I'll end up doing is I'll do that with each of these ones, and then we'll spin it one after the other, and then we'll ply it with this one. So we'll get a good even amount of colour going all the way through the yarn, and then it'll all be plied with this. So that's my plan for that one. So what I'll do is I'll do another video for you, and in the series, the drum carding series, and I'll show you me spinning from each one so you can see how I spin from each one. Because this one now It's just one long sausage. This one. So they're all just one big long sausage now, which makes it easy for doing fractal yarn because you can just pull bits off. So that's my thoughts for that one. I don't have a lot of this one, so I'm not sure how I'm going to work that in to the yarn. So we'll have to have a think about that. So that's my plans for that. And what I'm going to knit is, I should have enough for a cardigan, even if it's a crop cardigan, because there's 300 grams. I think I've got about 125 grams of each wool. That's 125 grams of wool there. So yeah, I should have about 300 or 400 grams by the time it's all spun up, with all the extra bits of silk and things that are in these bats and things. So what we'll do is, I'll make a start in a midweek episode. I'll probably try and get a midweek episode out once or twice a month. I've got my natural dyes one, hopefully, if I can get it finished at getting it edited in the next couple of weeks. That will be out before the end of the summer, before the end of August. And hopefully get the second one out by the end of August as well. And that's where we're going foraging around the garden, looking for things that we can use in the dye pot to dye wool. And in that series, I'm then going to be using some things that I've found. I'm doing foraging in the garden, foraging in the woods, and foraging down by the river. And then we're going to use, using kitchen scraps. And then from those 3 videos, we will then dye some wool from each of those 3 different places. So we'll use something from the garden, something from the kitchen, and something from the wild. And then we'll have some yarn to dye. And then once I've dyed that yarn, I'm then going to make it available in my weaving kits in time for Christmas. So, and it will be this Christmas because I've started getting my things together, photographing and getting ready for uploading to my Ko-fi account, which I do have. It's in the bar at the top of my Facebook page, at the top of my YouTube channel, and in the description bar below. So if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee or my chickens a treat, you are very welcome to. As I say, I'll leave it in the description bar below. And I'm going to upload all my shop stock now from my Etsy shop into my Ko-fi shop. So I'm going to do a shop update probably once a month, maybe a bit more often if I've got more to put in there. But I will do an episode and show you what I'm going to be putting in the shop, and then the shop will go live after the episode, but not this week. It'll be for the next podcast. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. I'm getting all my stuff photographed, getting it ready, so it can go up on my Ko-fi account and you can see what you want, and if you want to buy anything, I'll be happy to send it out to you. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh no, I've got one more project to show you. I don't know whether you remember, but in my last episode I shared with you that a local lady had died and her daughter had given me a couple of 2 or 3 boxes, maybe 4 boxes of stuff. And it had linen in it, wool in it, silk, loads of fabric. I've got metres and metres of pure wool fabric, some of it Harris tweed, and I felt so bad taking it all off because she didn't want any money for it. She just wanted it to go to a good home. And I was so pleased to receive it because it's such lovely stuff, and some of it's vintage, some of it's foreign from this lady's travels when she's travelled abroad. And I spotted in the box the other day this, and it's some thick and thin yarn. It is a commercial yarn, but it's from one of her travels, and I didn't think she realised that a lot of the stuff that she gave me, her mum had bought while she was away. And see, it's thick and thin. So I said to her, give it to me and I'll take it away and I'll do something crafty with it for you. Because she found her mum's weaving loom, Richard Heddle weaving loom, that she used to use when she was younger. And her mum used to teach her to weave with this weaving loom when she was younger. And she wants to be able to weave wall hangings because she used to weave tablecloths and table runners with it, and she wants to make wall hangings with some of the wool that was in the boxes of her mum's. She wants to be able to make something as a keepsake from her mum and make cushion covers and things like that. So she had these part wool jumpers of her mum's that her mum had started knitting, and they were colour work jumpers. And I gave her some advice, and I said about steeking up the jumper. I said you could then stitch it round, put a zip in, put a pillow inside it, and make it into cushions and put them on the sofa when they move into their new house. So yeah, so what I'm going to do with this is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of these. So what I thought I would do was, I thought I would do 2 as coils and do a coil spun yarn. I thought I would do 1 plied with a tinsel yarn. So then you'll get like a lumpy, bumpy plied yarn with that one. And then these 2, this one, I've got some yarn that I don't know what to do with in stash. So I thought I'd ply it with that. And then this one, I'm not sure. I might do some sequins, because she said she said that she'd fancy a sequin yarn. She said no one can have enough sparkle. I agree with it completely. So yeah, so I might do this one with a sequin. But what I want to do is intentionally do something different with each of them. And then if she wants to put them all together, she can. If she wants to plan a different project with each one, she can. But she'll have a bit of variety then, instead of just all this and not know what to do with it. So that was my thinking with that. As I didn't know what to give her. I was going to give her some money. She didn't want any money. I actually ended up just giving her £5 for the lot so far, because I came across her on Facebook Marketplace, and she was selling a roll of wool fabric for £5. I thought it was £10 a roll, and it turned out she only wanted £5 a roll for it. So that's that. So that's my current project and works in progress. As I say, I'm going to be doing my natural dye video release in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to start filming and spinning these so you can see that. So that'll keep us going into the autumn. I've also filmed the foraging in the wild. I've just got to film the dyeing wool from things that you find in the kitchen. So I'll do that one for you to get that ready for the end of the summer for you. And then we'll spend the autumn dyeing wool once the stove goes back on. Because my energy bill has gone up 3 times what it was before July. It went up on July the 1st. And the standing charge has gone up to 61p a day, and the kilowatt hour to 35p a kilowatt hour from 18p. So I'm not going to be dyeing on my electric anymore. We are looking at getting solar panels, so if we do, that'll change everything. I can dye all my wool using the electric in the daytime when the sun's out, and it'll be free. But until then, I'm going to wait until the wood burning stove goes on. I've also got a rocket stove to reset up, which I'm thinking of doing outside this shed, so I can dye some wool. I can sit in here and spin and keep an eye on the pots then outside. So yeah, I think that's it for today. It looks like it's going to chuck it down. I've got the chickens out, and my voice needs a rest. I can feel my throat going now. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go and do the tea. So that's it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, please do like and subscribe. It does really help me to grow my channel. If you do like this video and you found it useful, or you've enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button, the thumbs up button. And YouTube, I'll put my videos around YouTube to more people. So I'll see you in the next video. Do leave comments in the comments section below. I really do love talking to you all. And it'll be good to catch up with some familiar faces, which I haven't spoken to for a while. So I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week to come. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.